Hey everyone, this is Buddy back with another video, and today we're looking at what happened at Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference, or WWDC, in 2017. So let's take a look at the average consumer, what the majority of the consumer media will be looking at, and not more of the nitty-gritty kind of developer stuff. First off, we have Apple TV, and that means the app as well, getting Amazon Prime Video. So that's great for all the people that are both subscribed to the Amazon suite as well as wanting the Apple suite. So it's nice to see that Amazon's collaborating with Apple to bring this to them, and they kind of kick Google completely to the side. Apple also unveiled some new watch faces, but pretty much the only one that really matters for a productivity standpoint is the Siri watch face, which basically Siri just gives you the kind of Google Now-ish, I'll say, updates. So say you're looking at your watch and you have an event coming up, it'll tell you about that event, it'll tell you about the weather, it'll tell you about your flights, your bookings, stuff like that before you even have to look it up. So that's really nice and handy for if you're going throughout the day and thinking something's coming up and you just glance at your watch and then it'll let you know. Apple also announced the next iteration of macOS. So before it was Sierra, and now it's High Sierra, H-I-G-H, which is kind of an odd name. Why did you name it that? In this new Mac update, we've got Kaby Lake upgrades, so processor upgrades. VR is now going to be coming more to Macs, and some neat features like auto play blocking or external graphics support. Apple also announced a matte black or space gray kind of Mac. The iMac Pro is supposed to be more focused on pro users, or it's like a workstation but for Mac. So if you're used to those Xenon processors, high gigabytes of RAM, lots of storage, and that processing power that you need for like Windows workstations, then now you have a Mac alternative, although it is a bit pricey at $5,000. Apple did update the new MacBooks. The MacBook Pro actually got a Kaby Lake upgrade. So yes, even though they just upgraded it in December, they made it so that they got another upgrade for the processors, as well as a little bit of a graphics bump. iOS 11 was also shown off with this great new control center, which I'm just kidding. The control center looks a bit cluttered now. It's only one page, so it's no swiping, which is very nice that they made it all one page, except it's all very close-knit, close quarters, kind of too cramped for my style, but it's okay. I mean, it's not the best looking thing, but it's not gonna like kill anybody, but it doesn't really look the best. But they've also shown a bunch of AR support for the camera on the iPhone, and as well as other cameras that Apple makes on other products. So they showed some demos of that, and it looks really nice, really smooth, and really fluid. They did announce a new iPad Pro. Now this is probably one of the biggest updates, except for the next item that I'll be telling you about. But yeah, so the iPad Pro is pretty much one of the biggest updates that they've kind of made. So they've increased the size of the 9.7 to 10.5 inch, except they didn't increase the overall size. So they just decreased the bezels, which is nice. They also improved the screen quality and made it a 120 hertz screen. So that means that it'll refresh about 120 times per second, making those animations and stuff scrolling super fluid and nice, really good to see. And then it'll also smartly turn down the hertz of the screen so you save more battery, so it doesn't just burn out your battery. So it's really nice to see that super fluid motion on an iPad screen, as well as HDR support, so that you get those crisp high quality images with those smooth frame rates. Now the iPad Pro does start at the price of an iPhone, a brand new iPhone, so $650 it will set you back. So really, it's pretty expensive, and Apple's trying to make it definitely more like a Mac iOS hybrid, because they introduced drag and drop, so you can just touch a link and drag it into an email or an image, or you can set up multi-screen pretty easily, or even have stuff floating on top of your screen, as well as a new redesigned multitasking window that looks a lot more like Mac style. And so this is really good to see that they're trying to push the more productivity into the Mac, or from the Mac into the iPad, even making that dock bigger and more accessible from any screen instead of just the home screen. but they still haven't introduced like offline programs or anything. So really it is just the App Store with a little bit more functionality from the kind of Mac and PC kind of world-ish. So it's still not the full-fledged computer, but it's getting there. It's showing signs of getting there. And last but not least, the most exciting product that they announced was the Apple HomePod. So this is basically like their Siri pod sort of thing. Like if you think of like an Alexa, Amazon Echo, and the Google Home with the Google Assistant, this is Siri being on a speaker made from Apple. Starts at about $350, which Apple did claim was generous or a charity kind of thing, because they said it should cost $700, but they're making it $350. Now that claim that it should be $700 could be true if they actually put that great of a speaker in it, because they did say it had like 7 drivers in it with a great subwoofer and stuff. But if it is that great of a speaker, then you're definitely gonna get a really high-end speaker with a smart assistant. Now it is only gonna be as smart as Siri is, so hopefully they update it and make it very friendly and have a lot of that machine learning that they talked all about at the developer preview, and it can actually listen and hear accurately and give you great feedback for searches on the web, music playing, etc., etc. But this mesh pod that comes in space gray or white, and it almost looks like the Mac Pro, but just covered in mesh and a little bit shorter. It's a little bit squished. So it's an interesting look. Name better than High Sierra, that's for sure. But aside from that stuff, that's been it from the WWDC. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that big red subscribe button if you haven't already to gray it out, and hit that bell icon next to it to stay updated with our videos. That's right guys, Goober makes some gaming videos on the channel, and I make some other tech videos, so go ahead and check those out guys. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hold up.